Dear students, let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 13th June 2017. The first article, The Road from St. Petersburg. It is about India-Russia relations. India-Russia relations suffer from nostalgia. We have everything for good in the past. Now we can't see the relations between these two countries from the same lens. The globe has changed. Global political order has remarkably changed. So the relations between India and Russia. So in this context, 1971 agreement, it has changed the course of 1971 war and liberation of Bangladesh. And now, today if we see, there are certain convergence matters where we can converge on nuclear energy, defense technology. All these matters, there can be some convergence. But there are many fact matters on which there are divergence. In this case, the China is a remarkable factor. In 1960s, China was a common enemy for both India and Russia. Today, Russia has moved very close to China, and China is the largest trading partner, and it is also a major source of buying of the defense equipment of Russia. On the other hand, India moved close to United States and the Western European countries to further defense procurements. And Russia went to an extent in supplying the arms to Pakistan, which has been objected by India. Today, China, with regard to China, India and Russia do not enjoy the same view. And second thing is, in the long term, if you take the strategic view, again there is a convergence. Let me put it this way. Russia don't like to play as a junior partner to China in global affairs. So in this context, China making inroads into Central Asia, Eastern Europe is not good for Russia. And Russia is also not willing for the same. Because Russia considers Central Asia and Eastern Europe as its sphere of influence. And second thing is, today there might be convergence with Pakistan, but Pakistan is an important player in the United States geopolitics. So in this context, India and Russia have certain divergence on tactical matters, but with regard to strategic matters, they have convergence. On tactical matters, there is divergence. Strategic matters, there is convergence with regard to China factor is concerned. And second is, cooperation between Russia, Western Europe and USA. This is a very good combination for India. So India can prosper when there is a Russia, US and Western Europe cooperation engagement with each other. Because India need not balance Russia and USA against each other over here. So India can be friendly with both the countries. There will be no zero-sum game when the relations between Russia, Western Europe and USA are very cordial. But if you see today, the Western Europe and Russia are at loggerheads, but their relations are expected to improve. But with regard to United States of America, the similar hope was expected when Trump has become the president. But he himself suffering from Russia gate. I don't think some remarkable can happen now. So, what India has to do? Russia also sees India as a counterbalance to China with regard to engagement in Central Asia and Eastern Europe is concerned. So Russia is engaging or encouraging India to positively engage in these countries. So Russia is asking India to join a free trade agreement in Eurasian Economic Union, and which India shall unhesitatingly move forward. And second thing is, there is Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and recently India has become a member to SCO where India can actively participate. And other than this, defense partnerships or defense purchases are still strong with Russia, but India has a very bad experience with Gorshkov, where the prices are being repeatedly escalated by Russia. So such irritants need to be avoided between these two countries. And another aspect is nuclear energy. You already know that Kudankulam reactors are only the reactors which are moving forward under nuclear cooperation or under civil nuclear cooperation agreements which are signed across the countries. So, India-Russia civil nuclear cooperation agreement is very much on track. On the other hand, with France and United States of America, there are many challenges involved. So there are many convergence between these two countries. That is nuclear energy, oil and gas, added to that defense procurements. And there are also divergences, especially the China and Pakistan factor. So to what extent India can revigorate its relationship with Russia, it also determines India's place in the global affairs. That is what is the article major focus is. Upholding Chavism. So what is this Chavism? You know, Hugo Chavez is the most popular president of Venezuela. So Hugo Chavez, at that point of time, oil prices are in peaks. Major export of Venezuela is the oil. Because of this, Venezuela has become very prosperous, and liberal public spending by Hugo Chavez has led to reduction in poverty. And now, as prices are 1/3 of the Hugo Chavez times, Venezuela is going through an economic crisis. Mr. Nicolas Maduro, the president, he is unable to balance the economy now. Finally, it has led to a constitutional referendum. It is also leading to drafting of a new constitution. A national constitution assembly is created for this particular purpose. What the author says is, opposition and all the political parties shall come together in building the strong democratic institutions to make the democracy to survive. Because Venezuela has always suffered from the influence of United States of America being resource-rich nation. Now to maintain sovereignty and autonomy in decision making, strong democracy is necessary. That's what the author's major argument is. The rot in farming. You know that farmers in Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, everyone are agitating. What might be the reason? The rural distress is remarkable. What are the reasons for the rural distress? When drought is there, they suffer. When monsoons are good, then also they suffer. The reason is surplus. Whenever the agri surplus exists, prices fall dramatically, and the farmer has to go for distress sale. And when prices are high, the benefit is taken by the middleman, that is trader, rather than the farmer. So the first important thing is price discovery for the farmer. If price discovery has to happen, there has to be a national market for the agricultural products. E-Nam was launched, but however, agricultural marketing being the state subject, no remarkable improvement has happened till now. And after that, input costs. For the farmer, the input costs have increased dramatically. The output costs are, the costs of the produce which he made did not increase. They actually have decreased. But however, input costs have dramatically increased. And credit flow into the agriculture, it did not increase. Actually, it shrunk by 2.5%. So in this context, the distress in farm sector in India is systematic. Solution has to be systematic rather than ad hoc like farm loan waiver. And added to that, government is hell-bent on reducing the inflation. Obviously, if inflation has to be reduced, it's going to worsen the farm distress further. That is what the article talks. And more to it than MSP. The next article is, it is about minimum support price. This is also talking about agricultural distress. Minimum support price is a price which is announced by the government before sowing of the crop. So it means government assures this particular price to the farmers. Next comes the procurement price. The procurement price announced by the government is expected to be more than minimum support price. But most of the cases, bureaucratic delays, it leads to delay in procurement when the prices fall below the market prices. And second thing is, the farm credit is decreasing. Though on the record it appears that the farm credit loan disbursement to the farmers have increased, banks play a nice game over here. So there is direct farm loans and indirect loans. Indirect loans are actually given for farm related business, agri-business. So under the agricultural head only these loans come up. But most of the loans go for allied activities like agri-business rather than getting directly into agriculture. So that is the reason why 40% of the farmers, even today in India, these are dependent on money lenders. And third thing is, the farm incomes of the people are decreasing. Now if you take about even in horticulture, wheat and paddy, and even in the case of the small farmers, the incomes are drastically decreasing. And income from the allied sectors like animal husbandry, all these are not increasing. Dairy, fishing, these are not increasing to the farmers. So agricultural distress, if it has to be addressed, again, making the inputs cost cheaper, improving agricultural productivity, decreasing the stress on agricultural or on the farm by diverting the people into the employment on other areas. So these are the steps that are critical to address the problems in the agriculture. Let's get into the first page. Loan waivers are on you, Finance Minister tells the states. Now BJP ruled states are also started offering the farm loans. It is going to increase the fiscal burden on the states. Now Finance Minister has indicated that Center is not ready to provide for any benefits to the states offering the farm loans. So recently when monetary policy is announced, the RBI did not decrease the rates, stating that fiscal indiscipline of the states due to farm loan waiver can lead to an inflation spiral. So that's why the RBI is very cautious. Now let's get into the business page. CPI inflation slows to lowest since 2012. Now I want to give you the argument of Arvind Subramanian. What did he say? India has overachieved on inflation. So India has to achieve now on growth. So that's why it is growth India needs now. Inflation is all-time low. So that's why monetary policy rates have to be decreased so that growth can move forward. Growth can be revived in economy. But Monetary Policy Committee, it wanted to move forward with inflation targeting and keeping the rates unchanged because the fiscal indiscipline is expected from the states due to loan waivers, which can lead to inflation pressures again. So that's what is the point you need to understand from this particular article. And at the end, I gave you the notes. And this notes is available to you at laix.in/civils-prep. And the courses of Law Excellence, these are available on laix.in/test-prep. Thank you very much. All the best.